Hello friends and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 9, Episode 13. Today we're going to introduce a puzzle type called School Trip, and this is an interesting one because it involves a bit of Japanese superstition that isn't a Western superstition, and that is that beds should not be placed with the pillow side on the north. And without getting into that any further, that is just kind of ingrained in the culture that spawned this puzzle type, so it's almost taken for granted, and we have to internalize that as we solve this one. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the rules. In School Trip, we will place some 1x2 futons in the grid, each with a pillow on one side, and shade all of the remaining empty cells. Futons are represented by dominoes, effectively, that have a square in one of the two cells. That represents the pillow. And then we have some given circles, and then anything that isn't a circle or domino ends up being shaded in. All shaded cells must form one orthogonally connected area, and no 2x2 region may be entirely shaded. Orthogonally connected means that from any one shaded cell we could get to any other by going horizontally and vertically through that area. And each futon must be orthogonally touching the group of shaded cells. We can't have any of the dominoes that are completely isolated from the black area when we're done. Futons may not overlap each other or shaded cells. Cells with clues cannot be shaded or contain futons. Those are both pretty self-explanatory. A clue indicates the number of pillows appearing in cells orthogonally adjacent to it. So this 3 will have 1, 2, 3 pillows touching it. The 1 has 1. Note that diagonally does not count. We say orthogonally. And the 0 has no pillows next to it. And a vertically oriented futon must have its pillow on its bottom half. So this is one of the rare puzzles where the orientation of the puzzle matters, because we're saying that this domino could not have the pillow in the top half by the rules. If the futon is horizontal, then the pillow could be on either side of it. Those are the rules of School Trip, so it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's School Trip puzzle was set by Shye. Well, we can start, as we normally do, with big and little numbers. Little numbers, I think, are not nearly as useful as a starting point in these puzzles, because a 0 just tells us there are no pillows nearby. It doesn't tell us whether those are the foot of a bed or if they are shaded. So I think the large numbers are the way to go, because in a 4, we can say that there are pillows on all 4 sides. And a 2 on an edge with this one blocked is also going to force some pillows there. There is a case that I see, a couple cases, where the orientation rule will come into effect. So right here, this pillow cannot be part of a vertical futon, because if it were, then the pillow would be on the north half. Not allowed. So it's going to be horizontal for sure. This one is constrained the same way. Can't be vertical. It's got to be, it is vertical, so it's got to be on the southern part. This can't be a vertical one, but it could be horizontal in either direction. And we know which, because this cell can't be shaded. If it were shaded, it would be isolated from the other shaded cells in the grid. So that's got to be part of a futon doing that. This futon needs to be touching a shaded cell. So that tells me that that one's shaded. Then this shaded area is going to sneak out through here. Can we do something similar at the top left? I feel weird that we're starting down here. So what can I do with... Okay, I can say something about this futon. I can say it touches a shaded cell somewhere. And whichever shaded cell it touches is in this area, which means it's going to have to connect through this alley to get to other shaded cells. And that's going to be good because that means this one can't be talking about this cell. It would be a pillow without the foot of the bed, so that is a pillow. Similarly here, that is a pillow, and we know how that's oriented. We know for a couple of reasons this is not the foot of this bed. One, because the pillow would be on the north part, and two, because it would isolate our shaded region. So the shaded region comes out here. This bed goes horizontally. We can say that this shaded region has to come up through this alley, giving us two pillows on either side of this 2 clue. This one can't be vertical for both the same reasons as we just talked about. It's horizontal, and that makes the shaded region go through and around there. We can't have this be on the north side of a bed, so it does that. That boxes this in, so it does that. Shaded region comes out this way. This shaded region comes out this way. Okay, this one could be either direction still. Don't see a restriction there. We can probably do something with this coming out this way. This bed is going to have to get touched by a shaded cell. If it is not this one, then the shaded region has to take up both of these cells. To avoid a 2x2, this would have to be unshaded, but there's not room for a domino. So that is shaded. That makes this unshaded, which means it's part of a futon, and this is not the pillow. So pillow here, like that. Okay, I just stumbled across an auxiliary mark I didn't realize this interface had, so I'm gonna use that to mark these as we don't know if it's a bed or not, but it's if it's a pillow or a foot of a bed, but it is not shaded. So we can do that in all of those. We can do that here. Anywhere else? This one. And no, it's I said that wrong. We don't know if it is shaded or not. That's what I meant to say. We don't know if it's a shaded or not, but it does not have a pillow. That's what the dot means. This one clue needs a pillow still, so it's going to be that one. That makes this a bed that goes like this, and this bed has to touch a shaded cell. So that's shaded coming out this way. This bed goes horizontally, and now this 2 needs 2 pillows. This one's going to have to be horizontal. This already was going to have to be horizontal, but this bed needs to be touched by a shaded cell. So that's there, connected there. This pillow can't be the north half of a bed, so it's the southern half. This becomes horizontal. This can't be vertical, or the pillow would be on the north half, so it does that. This bed and this bed both need to get visited by the shaded region, so that shades both of those. We can't have any shaded cells in here, so this becomes, I don't know how to mark this. Yeah, it becomes the foot of a bed. Probably this pillow, but I think it still could be this one. How am I going to know? How am I going to know that? Not sure yet. And I think if I leave it like that, it's going to confuse me. I'm going to think that this can't go that way. So I'm going to leave that unmarked for the moment. Oh, I know how I would know. Okay. If this, if we had this situation, if this were the foot of a bed going this way, then this wouldn't be touched by a shaded region. So this has to be the foot of this bed. Yeah. Okay. And this can't be shaded, so it is the foot of a bed, and it's the foot of that one. So that makes this shaded, because there's no room to put a bed there. Good. Okay. So now we're cooking. This shaded region needs to get out this way. Needs to come out through this alley. This one gets a pillow there. Can't be north and south, so it goes like that. This has to go up like that. This needs two pillows. They go here and here. This doesn't go... this shaded region needs to get out. That's the easy way to see it. So it comes out this way. This one comes south. Oops, wrong button. That makes this bed horizontal. That makes this a shaded cell. And this needs a pillow. If this went horizontally, that would force this to be vertical, and then this bed couldn't be visited by the shaded area. So this goes vertically and needs to be visited. So this comes out this way, making this horizontal. And we're just left with these three cells. They're going to have a futon, because if they didn't, we'd end up with a 2x2 region. So it's a futon with the pillow on the south side. Our options are these two or these two. If it's these two, we isolate these cells. So it must be those two, and this one will have to be shaded. And that is how you solve a school trip.